Assalamu alaikum, I'm back with application security.io Kontra OS top 10 for API, and today we are going to do Xxe injection. Let's start the lab. So this is a healthcare website, OpenCare, and it is a cloud-based electronic health-based record platform. Alice is the CTO of this website and hired Bob to perform pen test on this website. So let's move further. So Alice has been given a username and password for this. So he has this username and password. Let's log into his account. On his account, to allow the importing of patient healthcare record, OpenCare has recently launched the import patient Ccda XML feature, which allows user to manually upload patient Medicare data using the consolidated clinical document architecture. Okay, so the Bob is able to upload a Ccda XML document. For example, if the patient is treated in some other hospital, he must have some Ccda XML file with him that will include all of his progress note, discharge summaries, the medication he was receiving, so that the other hospital is able to know the history with this single file. So this is actually the Ccda XML file. Okay, all the record is in XML format. So let's move further. So to further understand the Ccda file formats, let's take a look at the example Ccda file patient data.xml. Consider that this is a file of an example file of Ccda XML. This is the XML content over here, and with different type of data in it. Let's analyze this file. So it is a lightweight XML data format that contains structured and unstructured patient data and can be used to support health information exchange with electronic health record systems. Okay, we are done with this thing. So for example, this is the name, this is the family name, all of these records is present in this XML format. The markup further defines the patient demographic information such as name, age, date of birth, and further contains the patient medical history, including their diagnosis, medication that were prescribed to the patient. So let's move further. So let's upload this file patient data.xml to OpenCare and see. When you click on the browse, the XML file would be parsed by XML parser on this website, and the content would be reflected on this page. Okay, so let's move further. Now we are going to modify the Ccda document file, as we believe that it is possible that XML parser is not looking into any security setting. XML parser is not looking into any security setting, and whatever is in the XML is rendered on the front end side of the website. So now we are going to do the Xxe Injection Attack. It is a well-known attack that exploits the parsing of untrusted XML entities. If we can add here untrusted XML entities over here, allowing an attacker to view arbitrary files on the application server, which can make us to view the files of this CloudCare OpenCare website that are present on web server. So let's analyze this code again. So here you can see that we have defined some untrusted XML entries. Bob updated Ccda document defines a doc type declaration. Load this to load an external document type definition. If you're familiar with XML, then you must know that what this document DTD file is. Otherwise, you have to have a little bit knowledge of XML structure. Then this is the command through which we can ask any XML parser for the file that we specify over here. Next, the Bob defines an external entity sum file. The entity declaration is an XML tag used for loading additional data from external resources. The syntax for loading an external entity is entity name, system, and URL. So entity name, system, and URL. Okay, and then we are going to refer this sum file inside our document. So we are going to use this load this tag. Okay, and load this will render the contents of sum file with the entity sum file. So we are interested in /etc/password file of the web server of OpenCare, which contains all the username passwords of OpenCare website users. So with these modifications in hand, we are going to load this file, and then we want these contents to get displayed on the front end side. Let's move further. Again, let's upload this file again, and let's browse it. Now you can see that the file has been rendered on the front end side by using simple Xxe injection. We have added 3 more tags, and we are done with our password acquisition. So let's move next. So what happened in vulnerable code? Let's analyze this code. The developer implemented an upload clinic notes method for the process of saving the patient data from Ccda XML file. So this is the method which is responsible for serving the Ccda XML file. Okay, let's move further. The method expects an XML file to be passed as an HTTP post parameter. So this API endpoint received that XML document, and next the developer used Java's document builder factory class that enables application to parse. Here the developer is creating an XML parser. The parsed data is then converted to JSON object and returned back to it as an HTTP response. You can see that there is no security setting that what tags are allowed in XML and what are the things that XML document cannot request. Okay, hence when Bob file is passed, its malicious entries are executed without any restrictions, allowing Bob to perform an Xxe injection, stealing the contents of /etc/password. So let's move further how we can mitigate this thing. So before rendering the document or reading the document, these three settings must be in place. So what are these? Let's analyze the code. In this modified example, we specified three important parser security settings before parsing the file. The disallow-doctype-decl set to true prohibits the use of document type declarations in the XML, the first line that we have added. So it prohibits this. The external journal entities set to false prohibits the use of external journal entities. Through external entity we had loaded the file in XML document, and the external parameter entries set to false prohibit the usage of external parameter entries. This is also the same thing. So explicitly setting the aforementioned parameters will result in error when parsing the malicious file, preventing the Xxe injection. So this would now throw the error if the same XML file will be passed to the server. So this is all from the Xxe injection, that your XML parser must include these three lines. Otherwise the Xxe injection attack is possible and the pen tester or hacker can extract the sensitive files of your system. So this is all from this lab. We'll meet in the next lab inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair.